In StratNews Global's continuing series Eastern Front Airpower, we are here at the Indian Air Force's Air Force Station Hasimara. We're here to document the latest addition to the IAF's fighter jet inventory, the Rafales. And we're here with the commanding officer of the Rafale Squadron, Group Captain Abhishek Tripathi. Group Captain, thank you first of all for hosting us. It's an absolute privilege and honor.
Most welcome.
As a commanding officer, sir, for a lay viewer, if you want to understand, I mean, any squadron would require a certain proficiency and experience. But if you can tell us, what is it that you are entrusted with the role of being a commanding officer, especially for this squadron?
Okay, so before that, I'll go over the flying experience.
Which is one part of the reason why you are.
Yeah. So basically, I have over 3,000 hours of flying experience across many types and many fighter aircraft in the Indian Air Force, including my training days wherein we have certain stages in terms of training. Thereafter, I have flown two types of fighters before flying the Rafale aircraft. I have also served as a qualified flying instructor in a training establishment wherein my role was to impart training to the ab initio pilots. I am also instrument rating instructor and examiner in the fleet.
Credentials, I mean. But if you can again explain, and if I can get you to visualize that a viewer is a layperson who doesn't really know the nitty-gritties, in terms of what are the roles and responsibilities that you as a commanding officer of the squadron are entrusted with?
So as a CEO of the squadron, it is my duty to ensure the effective delivery of the decisive air power in the quest of the national objectives whenever called upon to do that. Towards this, I ensure that we maintain and continuously upgrade the operational standards of our aircrew, our maintenance crew, our aircraft, and the associated role equipment. The squadron ensures rigorous training of all the crew, and we maintain very high standards of operational readiness. Being a formidable arm of the Indian Air Force, it is my duty that the squadron and the Falcons are always ready to take on any task whenever called upon to do that across the spectrum and keep the cutting edge sharp.
You talked about the magnificent men, Group Captain. Now let's have a look at the magnificent machine. Position now inside the aircraft, sir. If again you can just explain to us the attributes of the Rafale as a combat platform.
Yeah. So Rafale is a state-of-the-art modern fighter aircraft, and its unique characteristics provides it a lot of edge over all the other modern fighters in the world. The aircraft is extremely versatile. It has highly advanced avionics, very good EW system, and the aircraft has got extremely good maneuverability and agility in air. And the most importantly, that this aircraft is capable of precisely delivering air-to-air as well as air-to-air, air-to-ground weapons as and when they are required to do so.
Group Captain, again, the role of the squadron in the Indian Air Force, that can be explained to whatever extent is possible.
Yeah, so the squadron as such is involved in multiple roles. Because it's a modern fighter, it can be utilized for different kinds of roles as and when the situation arises. The role of the aircraft as such is primarily air to air, that is aerial defense, as well as offensive air to air roles, and it also can carry out air to surface tasks wherein it can deliver precise munitions and long range weapons as and when required to do so. It is an all-weather and aircraft which can fly and carry out all these missions both in day as well as night. It has air-to-air refueling capability by day and night, and we have flown for extensive durations. So the missions can be complex and can be very elaborate and involve long duration as well. At times the roles are also related to the electronic warfare and intelligence gathering. So as and when the situation arises, the Air Force and the squadron are flexible enough to switch the roles and tasks, and at times switch the tasks and roles in the air as well. That is why this aircraft is truly swing role capable.
And when you're talking about the squadron, I think it would be apt if you elaborate a little bit more about, say, the motto or the crest, because that is the heart and soul of the squadron.
So this squadron is one of the oldest fighter squadrons in the Indian Air Force. The squadron was formed in 1948 initially as a photo reconnaissance squadron. The squadron had Harvard aircraft those days. So since the role was photo reconnaissance, the squadron crest involved a falcon bird, and the motto of the squadron is also derived from there, that is Anvishya Vedhi, and which translates into seek and destroy. So as you see, it clearly matches with the role of the squadron in those days. Subsequently, the squadron has continued to participate in most of the operations since then, and today we stand where we are. In 1971 war, the squadron was one of the most, squadron was the most decorated squadron in 1971 war, wherein the squadron flew extensive missions in the area of Chamb and Akhnur, and thereafter the squadron was also given the name of Falcons of Chamb. So it is one of the rare squadrons which is also associated to a particular, which takes its name involving a particular operation and associated to a particular geographical location as well.
So again, if you can talk about this aircraft and how she operates or is integrated with operations on other platforms in the Indian Air Force.
So since I am part of the initial batch of the air crew and part of the fleet as such since induction, so as the initial air crew, it was our duty that our duty and our task to quickly amalgamate this aircraft into the scheme of affairs of the IAF, which involves joint operations with all the other fleets, not only the aerial platforms but also the ground platforms, the radars. So we did multiple exercises and multiple missions, and within few weeks and very quickly the aircraft was part of the planning and execution of all the tasks of Indian Air Force, and the amalgamation and operationalization of this fleet was very soon happened very soon as and when the aircraft was inducted.
You alluded to it in points even earlier, but if you could just elaborate again on its role as an Omnirole fighter.
Okay, so Omnirole basically means that the same machine should be able to carry out multiple tasks in the air. So in one sortie. So as and when it's required in the air, the roles and the task of this aircraft can be changed or even reversed based on the dynamic situation in the air. So it provides great flexibility for a planner that your mission has gone for certain task, but we have been able to dynamically switch the role in the air, and that is why this aircraft is truly called a Omnirole fighter, because it's able to switch the roles real time in the air and carry out multiple tasks and multiple types of roles in the air in the same mission.
Most important, or one of the most important parts would be, the synergy between you and the machine. So how is the interface between the air warrior and the machine?
So this aircraft has got a very unique and a good man-machine interface, which provides great ease to the aircrew, the pilot who is flying the aircraft, and he is able to do the task, even the complex of the task and the long range missions, the missions involving high maneuverability and high agility missions with comfort and ease. So it also, overall it also enhances the efficacy of the man in the cockpit.
What about radar, electronic warfare and weapons integration, sir?
Okay, so the EW suite of this aircraft is very unique and precise, and amalgamates a whole lot of sensors onto the aircraft. This not only enhances the survivability of the aircraft and its associated equipment in the air, but also acts as an offensive arm and offensive capability in the air. The unique sensor fusion characteristics of the aircraft provides the pilot real-time updates very quickly, and it also shortens and shrinks the decision-making loop in the cockpit, considering it's a single cockpit, single aircrew environment. As far as the radar is concerned, it has a highly sophisticated and very modern radar, which can deal with a lot of air to air and air to ground threats simultaneously. This provides the aircrew with an array of options in terms of employability and targeting, both for aerial as well as air to ground threats.
Just picking up from that last point you made, sir, the capabilities of the aircraft in both in ground attack role or say in countering drones.
Okay, so the aircraft, as I said earlier, is equipped with long range munitions, both for aerial as well as ground threats. So because of this, the aircraft is able to deal with lot of ground threats at a distance, and it increases the survivability because the munitions are precise. So the chances and the targetability quotient is also far better because of the munitions always impacting on the precisely on the targets. The similar is the thing in the air to air aspect, wherein the aircraft is equipped with modern missiles and very long range modern missiles. The aircraft is able to target all the types of aerial threats irrespective of the type, the size and the complexity involved. So it can deal with multiple types of targets, as you asked in there.
And what would be important nowadays, now is important in any kind of machine, but here again is that there are India-specific enhancements that have been provided.
So this aircraft is also uniquely designed and planned as for the Indian environment. Indian topography and Indian conditions are much different from any nation is that way different, and based on our requirements and our assessment, the aircraft is designed with certain enhancements in its design and its features, which always gives us a great edge in a constrained and highly contested battle space scenario.
All comparisons are not necessarily good, but just if you want to look at it in terms of other aircrafts, in terms of bad conditions that it has to perform in weather, bad weather conditions, or at night, its capabilities.
So as I said, the aircraft is able to fly both day and night, and it's a all weather modern platform. It has the capability to negotiate through toughest of the weather conditions and fly in most challenging environment in terms of weather. And we have done it over the period of time in multiple exercises, missions, and long duration missions as well. As far as the air-to-air refueling is concerned, the air-to-air refueling, the aircraft is capable to carry out air-to-air refueling both by day as well as by night. It provides, as I said, since it's an Omnirole aircraft and the roles can be switched in real time in air, so having the capability to refuel and fly for much longer durations it's a great added benefit, since it's an Omnirole fighter and the roles can be in real time they can be reversed, switched, altered, and if the aircraft is able to refuel and in the air able to proceed for another type of mission, and hence it increases the overall efficacy of the Air Force and the fleet as such, and it gives a great flexibility to the planner. We have done in the recent past a lot of missions, exercises, and missions involving very long durations in the recent past by carrying out multiple air-to-air refuelings in air.
Again, Group Captain, thank you so much for first hosting us and giving us your time in terms of your experience and your expertise. Really appreciate it.
It was our pleasure to host you. Thank you.
Pleasure and honor all ours.
Yeah.
And for our viewers to send us feedback for this on-the-ground report and these interviews that we're doing in our ongoing series, Eastern Front Airpower, you can follow all our social media handles for the latest updates that we put up on our website or our YouTube channel.